Hi, I'm Pastor Josh from Philadelphia Christian Center, and today we have a powerful testimony from Chaz Henderson, who has been attending our church for a few years now. He has a great testimony to share, and I can't wait for you to hear it. Watch this video.
Hi, I'm Chaz Henderson, and this is my testimony. Ironically, I grew up not far from a church. The church was actually right across the street from me from 7th grade to high school, and I knew most of the kids that went to that church, but I also knew what we were doing outside of church. These were the same kids I was getting high with and drinking with and so on. So it kind of put a damper on this whole church and God thing for me. I was rather cynical. And so that lifestyle of drinking and drugging and so on did catch up with me. My aortic valve went bad on me, and as a senior in high school, I had to get open heart surgery. Now, I didn't have any symptoms per se, a little dizzy spells once in a while, but primarily I didn't really feel anything, and I was playing sports and so on. And I was getting my physical done, and the nurse took my blood pressure 5 times and then called the doctor in, and they said, "Son, you need to go see a cardiologist." Well, again, this is sort of God's grace, because I could easily have been running up and down the field and would have keeled over. So athletics was out for me. And my senior year of high school, I didn't even have gym. And I had to go in for open heart surgery to replace the aortic valve. Now it's less invasive now, but at the time you broke open the chest and everything. So I got that done. And I recovered well. And of course, as a young man who was not very smart, I started living the same lifestyle again, right after the surgery. So I'm doing the same things I was doing prior to going in. And I'm living my life, and I'm actually getting kind of tired of it. And it was then that at that time, I did meet Peggy, and we started going together, and we did get married, but I was still not looking to God at all. And Peggy had been saved. She had backslidden. She said she was going to go back to God one day. And I was of the opinion, yeah, sure, fine, whatever you want. But that's not for me. Well, living that lifestyle again, my aortic valve went bad on me again. Porcine valve that they had put in, which is a pig's valve, that one went bad. So they had to put in a mechanical valve in my heart. Now, I'm under the knife again. I'm getting ready to go in. Peggy had given her life back to Christ at this time, and she brought in the pastor right before my surgery, and he shared the gospel with me. And I was hemming and hawing, and he was saying, "You gotta be kidding me. You're getting ready to go into open heart surgery, and you don't want to give your life to Christ?" And so Peggy wanted me to, he wanted me to. I read the room. So what I did say the words, but they weren't in my heart. I said it, but did not believe it in my heart. And that's a requirement. Speak with your mouth and believe in your heart that Jesus is Lord, and you will be saved. Well, I didn't believe it in my heart. But God is gracious, because I went under the knife, and even though I was told I had a 90% chance of recovery, of survival, of the surgery, so in my mind I'm thinking, so if there's 10 surgeries today, somebody's not coming out, huh? Well, anyway, I did recover, and I was convalescing at home, and Peggy was going to church, and I really wasn't interested in it. But what I decided to do was to look at this Bible and see what what is this all about? Because I really hadn't given my heart. And to preface this, I had tried to read the Bible earlier in my life, and I couldn't get through it. I tried to read it like a book from Genesis on, and I got through to Leviticus, and I just couldn't take it anymore. I said, how do people read this every day? So anyway, I started reading the book of Matthew, and I can't say what scripture did it, but after I finished the book of Matthew, it was like the clouds parted, and the wisdom and the love that I felt from Christ, I felt it. And that's home alone with my Bible. I did dedicate my life to Christ, and I meant it this time. And I recovered. I started going to church, and I enjoyed church. But again, you look at people, you take your eyes off the cross, and you look at people, and what'll happen is they'll stumble you. But I started to look at God not as so much as what he can do for me, but who he is. Like one of my favorite scriptures is in Daniel 3, when the three Hebrew boys tell Nebuchadnezzar that God is able to save us, but even if he doesn't, I won't bow down to your idol. So it's not about what God can do, it's about who God is. My other favorite scripture is in John, when Martha comes to Jesus saying, you could have come and saved Lazarus. And he said, well, you will be with Lazarus again. And she said, yeah, sure, in the resurrection. And Christ said to her, I am the resurrection. So it's not so much what he does for you, it's who he is. And once I grasped that, I've been dedicated to Christ my whole life since then. I tried to bring my household up in that, but again, I fell a little short in that respect because it's the man who's the leader of the home. And I should have been more diligent with my children because they grew up in the church but aren't serving the Lord currently. And that just gives me pause, and it breaks my heart, breaks my wife's heart also. So, but that's pretty much my testimony in a nutshell. I needed God. God came through for me. I mean, I could have passed away many times through 2 major surgeries, and he gave me another chance to learn about him, to serve him, and to one day be with him.
What a wonderful testimony from Chaz. You know, he actually had 3 open heart surgeries, 2 from the doctors, but that last one, the one where he gave his heart to God, was the most important one, because that's the one where God was actually able to take his life and totally transform it. You know, we can do a lot of damage to our heart. And I'm not just talking about the drugs and the alcohol, but there are things that we allow into our lives that can really hurt our spirit and our heart and our relationship with God. But God is gracious and forgiving, and he is willing to work with us if we will just open our heart to him. Just like Chaz said at the end, our life is not going to be perfect. We live in a fallen world and have to deal with our decisions, but God is willing to work with us. He is willing to take our broken heart and do open heart surgery and restore us. Well, I hope you've been blessed by that testimony. And if you would like to give your heart to the Lord or just talk to somebody about what you heard today, feel free to call Philadelphia Christian Center at 215-639-7000. We would be happy to talk with you, to pray with you, or just to listen to what you have to say. I hope you've been blessed and have a wonderful day.